Alright, guys, it's been a while. It's actually been quite a while, but I'm not even gonna try and find excuses or anything. Let's just go right ahead with the video. And before we start, um, definitely make sure to check out the designer of this actual web page that we built in the last video and that we're going to create a mobile version for in this one. The link is down in the description. Make sure to check him out. So as I've said, what we'll do today is build a mobile version of this website. So far it's definitely responsive, so that is working. As you can see, it resizes pretty nicely and everything, but as soon as we go down with the size and we can actually open up the inspect panel and just do this and just set it to like an iPhone 7 size, you see that stuff is definitely not working. So what we'll need to do is, first of all, what I did is include a new style sheet into our HTML file. It's actually pretty simple, just link related style sheet, just as we do normally. The only thing that changes is that we're now adding another parameter which says media, and this is what you want to include there. Only screen and minimum width of 50 pixels and maximum width of 1080 pixels. This will make sure that this style sheet is only loaded in when we reach these kind of dimensions. That means essentially as long as we're in mobile dimensions, we'll have this CSS file loaded in. And we can actually, and then you just add your href and that's it. So I have this file right here. It's in our tree view as well, right there. This is our mobile.css that we're loading in. We can test this by simply saying all elements get a background color of red. Okay, just like that, just to see whether this works. And as you can see, yep, this does work. And actually I should open up a live view if this works. Hopefully it does. Yes, there we go. That's better. All right. So we definitely don't need this. But that just shows you that it works and it loads in. So first thing we want to say is the body should be height of auto, and overflow Y should be auto as well, because as far as I remember, overflow was hidden and the height was set to 100 viewport height units. So that's what we need to change for the mobile view, because obviously we wanted to increase in height as the content stretches out further. So what we need to do other than that is also set some styles for our header. What we need to do here is reset our padding and set the height to 130 pixels. Actually, I should just keep this one open on that side so we can like kind of compare the two. So header, actually, okay, we don't need the height there, but the padding should definitely be reset because we don't need all that padding on the mobile view. Let's see. It doesn't do anything yet. Let's just check with the background color whether that still works. Yes. Okay. Let's just continue then with the next thing. That should be the header navigation. And this one should simply say display none. Why? Because that's our normal navigation, which is this one in our HTML, but we don't need it. anymore because I've added a mobile nav, which simply includes all those links again, but it will be activated by this Hamburger menu, which we'll style later on. So these are the two kind of HTML elements that you'll need to add for the mobile version of the site. So that's why we need to just remove the normal navigation on mobile. And what we can continue with is the logo. And actually, no, I think we don't need anything for the logo, do we? Well, yeah. Okay, so its position, absolutely what can change is just adjust the position a little bit. So it's right there in the corner. That's what we want to have. All right. And then the next step would be to take the page wrapper, which currently has display flex, and c.page wrapper, and change it to display block. And you'll see what this does. It essentially switches the direction that the website flows in. We had the image on the left hand side and the text on the right hand side, and now it's below each other, and that's what we need for the mobile side. Then we also have our two wrappers, which are left and right. Right there, left includes the background image and right includes our content, and we need to set different heights for those. So that left will be just height 50 viewport height units. That way it takes up half of the screen. And dot right will be a height auto, because that is supposed to just stretch out according to the content. All right, that's looking better already. And what we can do next is just say dot right and then style the h1, meaning our header, and just give it a font size. Let's see. Give it a font size of 20 pixels instead of 22. Actually, no. There we go. We had it set to font size 100 pixels. Wow. All right, so let's reduce it to 60. Margin bottom, only need 30 pixels there. Max width should be changed to 300 pixels. And margin left, we can use a percentage value here, 10%, that should be good. All right, that's looking good to me. Let's continue with the paragraphs then. Whoops, what did I click? Oh, okay, there we go. Dot right paragraphs. We need to change the width of those to 100%, so they take up the full width of the screen, and change the font size to 13 pixels, I guess. All right, this is not looking the way I want it just yet, but let's style the content wrapper next. So what this one needs is position relative, and then we can do top minus 50 pixels, and that should bring it to the correct height. Yeah, that's kind of where we wanted to have, like, have the title cut into the background image. Left should just be 0. Whoops. And the width will be 100 viewport width units. All right. Let's see. Next thing we need to change is the article wrapper, and that's where we'll get our paragraph to work as well. So article wrapper will first of all need to reset the left margin to 0, And that's what we wanted. That it stretches out further. Padding right should also be set to 0. There we go. Width should be set to 100 viewport width units. And then we can add some padding to make it look a bit better. 40 pixels, 20 pixels, and 40 pixels. There we go. That's looking good. Then add display flags. Whoops. Flags direction column and align items center. This way we're making sure that it stays in the center at all times. There we go. That's looking really good already. Nice. So the last thing that we need to add is obviously our mobile navigation and our Hamburger menu up there. Actually, I kind of feel like the 50 viewport height units is way too much. Let's just reduce it down to like 30 maybe. Yep, that's looking a lot better to me. Actually, we can now just look at this from the actual mobile. There we go. That's looking good. Okay, so what we'll need is the mobile navigation. Dot mobile nav. That's what we want to target, because that's the bunch of links that we have right here. And we need to just style this mobile navigation. So we need to give it a background color. Let's just go with white there. Display, we'll set that to block for now. And all right, then we need to, let's see. Justify content, space between. Align items should be center, and flex direction should obviously be column. And position, we'll set that to absolute, and we'll give it a fixed height of 400 pixels. Okay. The width can be stretched out over the whole screen. Top, so position it right there, 85 pixels from the top, so it starts right here. That's giving us this kind of little space. That's good. That's what we want, because that's where our hamburger icon will be placed, and obviously we want to still be able to click it when our menu is opened up. Z index, let's just set it to a crazy high number because we want it to be up top at all times. Just give it some padding of 50 pixels and 0, so top and bottom padding. And let's just go with a box shadow. Box shadow of, let's see, 0, 10 pixels, 50 pixels of blur, and then RGBA for the color, and just say 0, 0, 0, and 0.2, just a very slight box shadow that you can see right there. It looks beautiful, I think. All right. So, something is still not working though. Alright, obviously, if we set this to flex, that's when our actual link items will be spread out properly. But as long as that's, yeah, it should be flex, yeah. Let's just keep it as flex for now. And the next thing we need to do is add our hamburger menu. And we'll just do that with pure CSS, no need for images there. So just say block, height will be set to 30 pixels and width to 25 pixels. Position will be absolute, because it won't move. And top, you can just say 35 pixels and right around 30 pixels. That's where our hamburger would pop up. And the way we actually make it visible is by targeting .hamburger and div. Now those are these 3 empty div items that I added into the HTML, and each of those represents one line of the hamburger menu. So what we say is height 2 pixels, width of 100%, because the width of the hamburger wrapper itself is 25 pixels already. And we'll just need to give it a background color of white, and finally some margin bottom to separate those from one another. And there's our hamburger menu. Pretty cool. All right. Final thing we need to add is the show mobile nav class. Show mobile nav class. And we need this one in order to trigger it when we actually click. Just give me a second. We need this class in order to trigger it when we click our hamburger menu, so we can add this class to our mobile nav and this way make it appear or disappear depending on whether we clicked on the hamburger menu or not. So this one will be none. And as soon as we give mobile nav the class of show mobile nav, it will pop up, and when we remove it, whoops, nav, then it goes away again. And actually the animations are still working. That's also beautiful. And the way we do this is simply by adding some JavaScript, and I think I've already written that down here. Yeah, okay. So these are our animations, and all right. So what we did here is create, first of all, 2 variables. One is hamburger and one is mobile nav. So we want to target the actual hamburger icon itself and then our actual navigation, which pops up right there. And we do this by simply saying document.querySelector.hamburger and .mobile nav, simply looking for the class names. That's pretty easy. And then what we do is take hamburger, so the hamburger icon, and add an event listener to it, which looks out for a click. And when it recognizes that clicks, it will fire this function. And what this function says is simply take the mobile navigation, look at its class list, and toggle the following class, which is show mobile nav. So when we click it, it will add the show mobile nav. When we click it again, it will remove it. And that's exactly the functionality we need in order to make our navigation appear and disappear. And if it's working, then we should be able to just click, yeah, there we go, and click again to make it appear and disappear. So there we go. That's our navigation. And I think we're already finished at that point. That's a very short video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you learned something. Leave a comment down below with any video suggestions you have. I'll be trying to upload more frequently from now on. And yeah, see you soon in the next video. Bye.